Youth Development, aka Advancement Chair for Hudson Valley Council, and we will be going through the use of Internet advancement tonight. All units that are part of Hudson Valley Council should be using the Internet advancement application to record the advancement and awards and things along those lines for the boys in your unit. So we have a demo that we will get into once I just cover a little bit of introductions. Dave, next slide. Okay, so here's the agenda. Just a quick overview of the Coucil Youth Development Committee. We'll be talking about Internet advancement, prerequisites, how do you log in, how do you record advancement, and we'll actually be seeing a demonstration. And then we'll have some time, hopefully at the end, for question and answers. Okay, next slide. Okay, the Coucil Youth Development Committee is made up of a whole team of people around the council. So here is just for people's information, some of our member-at-large people that come from the various districts. So we have a representative from each of the 4 districts that make up the Hudson Valley Council. Jason Dugan, who's online with us tonight as well, is our staff advisor. Next slide. Okay, each district has an advancement chair and several other members. So the principal names are listed here. For Delaware River, Jim Steinberg, and he has 2 different folks that handle the Eagle coordination due to their geographic nature of that district. The district chair and Eagle coordinator for Dutchess Heritage and Rockland are all listed here. On the youth development pages of the Hudson Valley Council website, hopefully everybody knows what that is, www.hudsonvalleyscouting.org. You will be able to find contact information for these folks. Next slide. Okay, so just a quick overview. For those of you who have been in scouting for a while, you know that the recording of advancement is critical for the boys, and up until maybe 2 years ago, it was all done on advancement forms. To make it more precise and to make it easier for those at the unit level to actually record the advancement for the boys, National came up with the Internet advancement application. So we've gone away from the multi-part forms, and as a council, this is the way that we are accepting advancement records. It takes care of the situation of lost paper or unreadable paper. We don't have to worry about emailing things or snail mailing things. So everything can be done at whatever hour of the day works for you, for those that are responsible for actually entering the data into the system. Next slide. Okay. One of the important pieces of this is the fact that the ScoutNet database is an official record of all those registered in scouting. So it's very important that we make sure that all of the names, addresses, and advancement for the scouts are in the ScoutNet system. The Internet advancement application synchronizes with ScoutNet, and you'll see that as we get further on, and you actually see a demonstration of this. This way, we also make sure that the boy is properly registered and all the prerequisites have been done. This way, the advancement is recorded properly. So obviously, we want to increase the accuracy and the speed of which we do this. It's not we don't need to rely on one person in the council office to record all of the advancement for the boys in the Hudson Valley Council. This way, each unit has a person that will handle the advancement recording for their particular boys in their unit. And as we all know, advancement requirements do change. So this way also we make sure that any changes in the advancement system will be reflected upon as you go through and record advancement for each of the boys. We don't have to worry about using old forms, and if we have the right names and things along those lines. Okay, next slide. Okay, at this point, when you finish recording all of the advancement, the last step, and again, we'll go over this during the demo, the last step is actually printing a hard copy of the advancement that was recorded online, and then that form is signed by the appropriate parties, depending upon whether it's just regular advancement or merit badges for the Boy Scouts. All those things need the proper signatures. And at this point, that has not been made into an electronic system. We're not sure if that's going to be in the future, but for right now, the last step will be printing the advancement report, getting the proper signatures, and getting that form sent up to the council office. It can be scanned and sent in. It can be put in the mail. It could be dropped off, but we do need to have those signatures on file. Internet advancement is used for all levels, so Cubs, venturing, Boy Scouts. There's only one case that it cannot be used for, and that is to record the advancement of a scout to the rank of Eagle, because it's not that is not done by the unit. Also, the report is necessary when you go to purchase your rank badges from the scout shop. So when you print this out, you will need to take this to the scout shop in order to order and purchase your rank advancement. Okay, next slide. Okay, so with us tonight is Mr. Dave Campbell. He is part of Troop 273 in Delaware River, and he's been gracious enough to help us out, giving us an actual demonstration of the system. So we'll first talk about some of the requirements and the features of it, and then we'll actually show you a for real session using the application live. So Dave, I'll turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. It's great to be here, and hopefully everybody gets something out of this tonight. So let's slide on to the next slide here. So Internet advancement as a web application is really, I think of in three different ways. So what is Internet advancement as an application? It's web-based. Well, what does that mean? It means that it's an application like you handle on your desktop or laptop, but instead of installing it and running it from your local system, your local computer, you're actually going to be driving into a web page and entering your data and reviewing your data in a website. And that is kind of neat because it means that you don't have anything to install. You don't have to worry about if, let's say, your laptop crashes, God forbid, while you're working on things, all of your records are not gone forever because your records are actually stored in the ScoutNet database, the advancement system. So if, for instance, your laptop goes down, you're without a computer, you can actually take your advancements, your recent advancements, and go to the library or a friend's computer and continue on with the login information. You never have to worry about whether the application is up to date. It's automatically up to date all the time. As Don pointed out, there's other advantages like not allowing you to submit advancements for things that a Scout hasn't met a prerequisite for. So that's kind of what it means to be web-based. The Internet Advancement application is also secure. This is a little geeky, but for people who are familiar with the difference between HTTP and HTTPS that you see in the URLs of your web browser, that S actually stands for secure. That's the kind of thing you want to see when you log into your bank, when you log into other secure areas, and it's the kind of security that you'll see involved with this application. Yes, you'll be transmitting data back and forth over the internet, but it's done in an encrypted fashion so that no one who may be trying to take advantage of your internet connection, no one will be able to review what you're doing. They won't get your Scouts' names, your Scouts' addresses. They won't have, ages are in this system, so they won't see your Scouts' ages. And that's a great thing, and that's built into this application. And finally, I think Internet Advancement is procedural. I look at it kind of like a shopping experience, kind of like shopping at Amazon.com or any place else you might shop online, like eBay maybe. And I kind of boil it down to 3 steps. The first step is finding what you want to get, which is translates to having your advancements and getting them into the system. The second part is once you've found your item, now you want to get it into your shopping cart. And there's sort of a step for that in Internet Advancement. And then the final step, I think, for buying something online is the actual checkout process. And that's going to be very similar to the submission process to the Internet Advancement application. And I'll show you a little bit more about what I mean and how it translates to my shopping analogy as we go along. So before we can get going, there are a few prerequisites to Internet Advancement. First of all, you need a computer with an Internet connection. That's pretty much an obvious statement. Pretty much any computer at this point is going to have one, but that's worth saying. The second thing is that you will need an Internet browser. You will need a very specific Internet browser, specifically Internet Explorer version 6.0 or greater. Currently, the latest version is Internet Explorer 9. So you may have 6, 7, 8, or 9 and all be fine. If you're partial to other Internet browsers, such as Mozilla Firefox, Apple's Safari browser, Google's Chrome browser, they may work fine for all of your other Internet applications, but the way that Scouting, the BSA wrote this application, it specifically will not allow you to use Firefox, Safari, Chrome, or anything else except for Internet Explorer to use this application. And that kind of segues into a small soapbox. I always take this diversion as a computer individual. If you are currently running Internet Explorer 6, it is in your best interest to find the latest version, an updated version of Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer 6 is something 6 years old. It has been, at this point, it's not supported any longer. So there are exploits that exist, and for your computer safety and for your information safety, you want to make sure that you're using the latest version of Internet Explorer when you use Internet Explorer to browse the web. And that is the end of my rant there. Thank you for that one. So the third prerequisite you'll need is the Internet Advancement Unit ID. This is not the same thing as your My Scouting account. It's not the same thing as your unit number, but it is a numeric code. Mine is 6 digits. I believe they're all 6 digits. And it's unique to your unit. It's basically your username because you only have one account per unit. If you don't happen to know your Advancement Unit ID number, you'd want to speak to your local district advancement chair or perhaps your district executive if you needed to, but somebody probably at the district level could help you get your unit ID. The fourth prerequisite rather, you will need an Adobe PDF reader. Just about every modern computer at this point comes stock with a PDF reader. But if for some reason you don't have one or you need to reinstall, you can always go to adobe.com/reader, and that will that's a download for the free PDF reader. We'll need that, and I'll show you that where we'll be using that later on. And finally, another obvious one, you need your list of advancements to process, whether it be blue cards or rank advancements or, whatever you have to kind of get everything all together, have it on the computer so that it'll make this process a little easier for you. Okay, so there's a number of different ways to get to the Internet Advancement website. You may recognize this navigation here from our own council website. So from the HudsonValleyScouting.org website, you would slide down to Youth Development and then slide over to Internet Advancement. Click that link there, and it'll bring you to a screen that looks like this. You're going to click the red Internet Advancement Click Here button, and that will bring you to a screen that looks like this. Now this is really the home page for the Internet Advancement application. The bulk of the page is just a set of instructions. I'll let you read that at your leisure when you're actually navigating the site. But I'll draw your attention to the two blue buttons towards the bottom there. You'll have a choice between first-time user and a returning user, the second choice being returning user. So let's play the scenario here where you've never logged in before. You're a first-time user. You'll click that. You will be taken to this screen. This screen has three simple form elements. The first is the unit ID. That is that 6-digit advancement unit ID number I was telling you about. So you'll enter that in there. Your unit type is pretty clear. If you're a pack, you'll choose pack. Troop, you choose troop. It's pretty easy. And then finally, your unit number. The thing to bear in mind with this is for our council, it's the 4-digit unit number. So I'm in Delaware River. All of the units in Delaware River have the prefix of the number 1. So I'm in Troop 273. My full unit number is 1273. So you'll have to use your 4-digit unit number in that field. When you've completed that form, you're going to click Continue. And I remember from past experience that it asks you for things like your name, your email address, a contact phone number. I'd love to show you the slide, but I've already registered, and it wouldn't let me re-register, so I don't have a slide to show you. But I know the form is pretty straightforward. You'll click through. You'll finish that form. You'll click through that slide, and when you're completed, you'll be dropped back to this screen here, our first screen. Now we're a returning user. We've already created our account. If you've already signed in, and you're just learning more about Internet Advancement, you're going to click Returning User. So we click Returning User, and that takes us to this screen. This is your basic login screen. You're going to use that unit ID number again, the 6-digit number. You're going to use your password, the password you would have built when you registered your account. So you'll know your password. And if you are in an instance where you remember your unit ID, but you've forgotten your password, you can use the Forgot Password tool on this page. That will help you. It'll help you reset your password. And I know that if you really get in straits, I believe somebody at Council can help reset your account also, if it ever came to that. So let's assume you've correctly input your unit ID and password into the form. You click Login, and you're brought into your account. And this is the screen you're greeted with. Now, this is a set of instructions, and this is where I get my basis for my shopping analogy, because your 3 stages or your 3 steps are going to be loading your roster, and I include loading your roster with finding the things you're looking for, updating your membership, and that's what I think of as putting things into your shopping cart, so to speak, and the 3rd step being submitting your report, and that would be checkout. You can read this more carefully when you're logging in yourself, but basically, when you're familiar with the system, you can drop straight down to the Continue button there, highlighted with the red arrow, and move right along to this screen. Now, today we're doing a basic Internet advancement. We're not going to be covering the integration with TruthMaster, but there is a way that you can use TruthMaster to generate an advancement file for you. TruthMaster or PackMaster, I should say. I'm at the troop level, so I'm always going to think about things in Boy Scouts, but this is also true for PackMaster. There is a way that you can generate an advancement report from your software and import it using the 2nd button there. But in my experience, the way I approach things, I go straight into loading the roster. Now, you'll click the Load Roster button, and like the title of my slide suggests, up here, you're going to get some coffee. And why is this? Well, that's because for whatever reason, loading the roster takes a fairly long time, longer than you'd expect for a web page. I would say in the ballpark of 30 to 60 seconds. You won't, unfortunately, they didn't. I don't think they did this quite right. There's no progress bar. There's no notice to say this could take a few minutes. You know, you just have to kind of sit tight. But it will come around, I do promise. And so, you know, what it's doing at that point, just to kind of fill in that gap, it's going out to ScoutNet and getting your troop roster and all of your, or your unit roster rather, and all of your units' current advancement. And it's fetching that for you so that you can take a look at it. I don't think it should take that long, as long as it does, but this is just the way it functions right now. So we've clicked Load Roster, we've done some waiting, and we're on to this step right here. To kind of give you a walk through the screen here, we're going to start at the top right. Underneath Frequently Asked Questions in the gray space, you'll see the Home, Logout, and Help links. Home is just going to bring you back to this page right here. This is your home screen. So there's not much there. Your logout is if you're done with your session, you can log out. Help, there is some limited help behind the help links, but it's not all that helpful in my experience. Start over we're going to get to in a moment. I'm just going to pass over that for the moment. Printing membership cards is kind of a fun feature. You wouldn't think it would be part of an Internet advancement application, but what it will do is give you a PDF of all of your current members in your unit, and they're not the official ones that you receive during rechartering, but they could serve as nice substitutes if you ever needed to hand out membership cards to your unit members. We're going to cover the multiple person entry feature in a moment. And so let's slide all the way over to the left side of the screen, starting with Review Unit Roster. roster button is going to provide you with a list of all of the members of your unit. It will include your scouts' names, their BSA IDs. I think it includes their birth date. It includes your adults, whether they're youth protection trained. It's the same packet you get when you complete your rechartering process, and so that should look familiar. Unit Advancement Summary is another PDF report. That is a report of all of your unit members, and it will show you all of the advancements for all of your membership. That's a pretty neat feature for advancement coordinators like myself, where I want to perform an audit on what I believe I've entered into the system and what ScoutNet actually knows about. For example, if I do that once a year, and I just want to make sure that everybody's got the proper merit badges that they've earned or proper rank advancement that they've earned, I could do the unit advancement summary to get a full list. If you really want to target one scout, you would use the member summary. If you click on the member summary button, you're going to be taken to this screen here. I've intentionally blurred out information just to keep things on the up and up. But what it allows you to do is select as many members from your roster as you like. You're going to check the checkbox to the left of their name and use the print button just above the roster there, and that will generate a PDF. I think that's a pretty neat feature. For me, as a Boy Scout coordinator, I love to do this with Life Scouts who are about to head toward, down their trail to Eagle, and I want to make sure that, and they want to make sure that they have credit for all the merit badges they need. Often in the Eagle application, they need the date they earned certain merit badges, and printing a member advancement summary report is a pretty helpful way of doing that. I can generate that for them, send it over to the scout, and let them take a look at where they are and what they need to get done. So coming back to our roster page here, the review advancement report I'll cover in a moment, and review previous advancement reports we're going to cover right now. So each of our sessions, we're going to generate a new advancement report. Let's say I come in, and tonight my example is going to be a merit badge that I'm going to show you. When I submit that report, ideally I should be keeping a copy for myself, at least in my opinion. I would be keeping a copy for our own records, for my unit records. But in a worst case scenario, I've lost it or I need to recreate the advancement report. This is actually really nice. If I click on this link, I get a pop-up that looks like this. These happen to be the list of advancement reports. This is a year old, but it shows me advancement reports that I've made in September 20th, on September 19th, and then earlier June 28th. I can click on any one of those and pull up an advancement report from that day. And if I need to reprint it, or a council needs it, or I need to prove something, I can always go back and get them. So you're never at risk where you don't have the advancement report. You can always come back and regenerate it if you need to, reprint it. But let's get down to kind of the meat of the issue here. In the center on the bottom here is the top part. It goes below this screen, but the top part of my unit roster. You can see in the middle there are my scouts' names, their street address, that they're Boy Scouts, and that they happen to all be male. To the left of them are 3 buttons specific to Boy Scouts in this case. Cub Scouts wouldn't have a merit badges column. They would have a different column, perhaps for belt loops, or I don't know what their columns are, but they're going to be specific to your program. Now, let's pretend that, like I said, we're going to take the scenario tonight of a Boy Scout merit badge. I would find my scout on my list. I would choose the merit badges button for him, Let's just pretend it was Jack here on the second scout on the list. Jack has earned an advancement, and that would take you to this screen right here. Let's pretend that Jack has earned mammal study. He did back in 2010, for example. I would find my merit badge. You can also use the button on the top of the screen to navigate alphabetically. So mammal study is in between L and R. I've chosen L and through R. Mammal study shows up, and I enter the date that he earned the badge. When I've entered that record, I'm going to click Save. That Save button is the equivalent, in my mind, to adding something to your shopping cart. You haven't purchased anything yet. You don't own anything yet. You've not, and the analogy is that you've queued up something to be submitted to Council or to be submitted to ScoutNet, but you have not actually submitted it. You're just putting it into your session for the moment. When you click Save, it's going to bring you back to your roster. Oh, this is your roster, rather. And you'd rinse and repeat. You know, Jack earned a merit badge, Patrick earned a rank, Evan earned an award, you know, and so on. I would go through. You know, coming out of summer camp, my boys have earned 50-plus merit badges. So I'll go through and add merit badges for each of them. But, you know, it seems kind of painstaking to me if I was in a situation where 10 of my boys all earned the environmental science merit badge all at summer camp. They all finished the same day. And now I have to go and rinse and repeat that process 10 times. Choose the scout, choose the merit badge, type in the date, press Save, repeat, repeat. So the way that the neat feature to do that in a quick fashion is the multiple person entry. That's the button, the blue button on the right side, on the bottom. Well, you know, below Start Over is the second button. So I'm going to click that instead, and that takes me to this screen right here. Sorry, takes me to this screen right here. So instead of choosing the scout and then choosing the badge and then saving, now what I'm going to do is choose the badge or the award first. In this case, I said environmental science. I'll scroll down to Envi-Sci. I'll check it with a little radio button. You can only select one award in this list. I'll choose next. It brings me to this screen. And it says, great, when was this award earned? In my example on screen, we're talking about astronomy, but, you know, whatever. I would type the date, July 20th, when the boys came home from summer camp. That's when they earned it. And I would choose next. Next is going to bring me to this screen right here. And this is a multiple select list. So like I said, 10 boys earned environmental science. Kyle earned it, and Alec earned it, and Christopher earned it. I'm just going to go and check all the guys that earned it at summer camp. When I'm done, I'm going to click Save, which is right above the age and the grade column there. And that's going to bring me back to my roster, back over here. You can keep iterating. Just, you know, you can keep doing that. Eventually, let's see, I just want to jump to my, yeah. So eventually, you're going to be to a state where you think you're finished. You're pretty sure you're finished. You've entered all your merit badges, your belt loops, your rank advancement. It's now time to check out, so to speak. We want to submit all of these things to Council. Like I said, none of this has been sent out yet. You're just kind of accumulating these things. So what you can do is you can, let me start over. When I look at the shopping cart while I'm shopping, I may want to go in and take a look at what I've ready to buy. The analogy to that in the application here is to review the advancement report. That's the second to last button on the left side. And it's going to give you a draft of what your current advancement report would look like if you submitted it right now. It should show you, that I added something to Matt, I added something to Alec, I did the 10 environmental science badges, and I got the rank that I wanted to do. When I'm satisfied with that, I'll click the next button. That'll bring me to this screen right here. This is the confirmation button. Are you sure you want to do this? Once you do this, you can't go back. That kind of thing. It'll give you one last opportunity to review your advancement report. And then, assuming you're satisfied, you'll submit to council using the Submit to Council button. Congratulations, you've submitted to council. Your advancement report has been submitted. Here's an opportunity with this blue button to print your advancement report. This is what Don was referring to earlier. You're going to want to print this because you won't be able to make purchases at Scout Shop without it. You also need to submit it when you make that purchase, signed, specifically also for boards of review. You need the additional signatures for Boy Scout troops. And that is really kind of the quick tour at a, just a high level. I think maybe we should just kind of dive in and take a look at it live. Yeah, so let's jump over to that. So here's our lovely, just waiting. Okay. So there's the screen. Here's our lovely Hudson Valley Council page. You can navigate over to Internet Advancement like we discussed. Use the red button here for Internet Advancement. I'm a returning user. Again, if you were new, you'd use your first-time user, but I'm a returning user, so I'm going to click Returning User. This is my 6-digit unit ID. Has nothing to do with Troop 273. I mean, it doesn't have the numbers 273, but it is the unit ID for Troop 273. I'll log in. This is my greeting page, or my first page, the instructions. Going to continue. This is the loading roster, and this is going to take a moment while my roster loads. While my roster is loading, maybe I should take a moment and highlight University of Scouting, which is coming up. I know I've been a university, I teach at university, and it's a great program. So if you guys are free on November 10th, that's when it'll be this year, and you should definitely check that out. We'll just wait for one more moment. I didn't bring my coffee. I should have.
And registration for university is now open, and for those interested, you can go to the council website main page, and you will see a place to get more information.
I'm sorry, guys. I should have maybe thought to preload my roster just so that we wouldn't have to sit here and watch the browser spin. But I guess maybe this serves as a good example for how long you could have to wait, just so you're not surprised.
Probably the larger the unit, the longer it's going to take, too.
Well, I guess we should be happy that I only have an average size unit then.
Yeah.
I feel like I should be singing show tunes or something right now. Da 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 da. Oh, okay. Here we go. All right. So now we're finally on to my roster page. Like I said earlier, you know, let's say we have merit badges. I was going to do one for my good friend Matt Glaughtery here. He has a merit badge. Now I've already entered it, but I was, just looking at my blue card here. Citizenship in the community, he's earned recently. He also finished climbing. I went and entered that one a few weeks ago. I would enter my date. Let's pretend for the moment that he earned citizenship in the world, and he finished. So we'll do that. We'll scroll back to the top of the screen, and you choose Save. And there we go. We're back at our roster. Now, I was telling you about reviewing your advancement report. Let's pretend that Matt was my only advancement tonight. I would click the review unit, what was it called? Review advancement report, this guy here. And I would get a draft report, right, that looks like this. You'll see Matt Glaughtery, 9/18/2012, citizenship in the nation. That way you can take a look and see what you're about to submit. This is taking a peek into your shopping cart, so to speak. While I'm here, let me show you these other buttons as well. This is the View Advanced, is it sharing now? I think it is. All right, so there we go. So this is your advancement summary. So we can see the one from the 14th of September. This is a finished advancement summary in case I needed to print it up again. I was telling you about the unit roster. We'll take a look at that. Like I said, this is going to look very similar to your charter document. Starts with the adults. And then below that are all of your scouts down here. Your scouts start in. So this is a great chance, and this is coming straight from ScoutNet. So if you ever have a question about somebody being registered or not, whether paperwork's in process, or if information is accurate, you can come to ScoutNet. It's kind of self-service at that point because you can just pull this up on your own, which is great. Now, let's pretend that I've added Matt. Well, no, let's not pretend. I have added Matt. He's already got his Citizenship in the Nation award, but I've realized that I've made a mistake. Matt doesn't have Citizenship in the Nation. How silly of me. I could choose Start Over, and that's the same thing as dumping your shopping cart, resetting, not moving forward. It's a great tool if you realize that you've just allocated 15 awards to the wrong scouts or the wrong date or whatever, and you don't want to keep it. So you would use Start Over for that feature. Let's pretend that I'm satisfied with Matt and his one award. I'll click Next. And this is bringing me to the checkout page, the submission page. I'm not going to submit it today because Matt hasn't earned Citizenship in the Nation, but assuming I was satisfied, I would submit to Council. I would submit to Council, and then like I showed you earlier, the print advancement report option is the next screen. Again, your advancement reports are going to look like these guys right here. You would expect to see a screen that looks like this. Your signature would come here down the signs. And here are the, for example, my past membership. I tell you that I submitted 2 merit badges. Let's see. I'm trying to think if I've missed anything. I think, let me show you what multiple person entry looks like in practice. So I've got 10 boys who've earned environmental science. I choose in multiple person entry. They've earned a merit badge, and I'll continue. they've earned environmental science. And next, they've all earned that today also. Today's been a very productive day. Today doesn't really matter. And here are 10 scouts that have earned it. I will save that. It lets me know that it successfully recorded it. Let's go back to that review advancement report. This is the potential advancement report that we could have. And now I see, oh, look at that. All of these scouts have earned environmental science. And we still have Matt Guadry earning citizenship in the nation. And actually what it's done, I chose scouts who have already earned environmental science. Down here a little ways are the updates. So these scouts had already previously earned it, and all I'm doing here is updating the earned date. So if I typoed, I could always enter a new earned date and update the date that they actually earned it. One thing you cannot do as a advancement coordinator for your unit is remove an advancement. If you accidentally typed in for the wrong scout and you submitted it and it went all the way to ScoutNet, you'll have to coordinate with council to have that advancement retracted. And I think that's pretty much all the features. I'm just going to go back to the slides here because I know I've got my parting slide. Where'd that go? And here we go for questions and answers. I do always make myself available if you want to ask me questions directly. Feel free to contact me directly at dcampbell@troop273.com. Or if you want, you can give me a buzz. There's my phone number. And I think that's about it. I believe Chris and Don have been taking on questions. I don't know if they want to throw a few out at me, but if you haven't entered your question yet, feel free to enter that into the question box, and we'll get to it shortly.
Dave, could you maybe show a quick example of an award rather than a rank or a merit badge?
Sure. So here is a list of awards that are in the system that Boy Scouts can earn. A wide variety of things, everything from your firemanship and totemship to the more things that are lesser given, World Conservation Award. Some of these I don't even recognize, but Mile Swim, Leave No Trace Award.
So we can even see that the latest awards that are being offered, almost at the bottom of the screen there, Supernova Boy Scouts, right? It's part of the STEM program, have been entered into the system as possibilities for people to choose if they work on those awards.
Other questions? I don't know who wants to throw them at me. Or do you want me to, I can read through the list here, I think.
I think one of them had to do with, also about some of the awards that didn't show up in that list, such as a religious award or something along those lines that doesn't show up here.
I don't think that handles advancement.
Yeah, finite list.
And I would suspect the rationale for that is, isn't special paperwork required when submitting those?
Yeah, there are forms for the religious awards, and and some of the others are form-based as well.
So religious emblems are actually not a BSA program. They're a program of an organization called PRAY. So I think that's why they do not appear in the advancement, because they are actually an outside program that we endorse.
Don, the other thing I'll mention too, this does look fairly up to date because the new NOVA and Supernova awards for the STEM awards are in there.
Right, yeah.
For White Scouts, and I'm assuming they're in there for Cub Scouts as well. But so that does seem to be at least an updated list.
Yep. Okay. All right. Are there any other open questions from the poll?
There's a one up there about international award. I do not know what the international award is.
Okay.
I don't know what that is either. I see a question about, oh, it looks like it's been answered. Okay. Well, maybe before we wipe the questions, Chris, we should answer them out loud in case anybody else might have a similar question. So there was a question that was submitted that says, if you purchase your awards not at the Scout shop, do you still have to sign the paperwork? The answer to that is yes.
My question would be where they're purchasing it if they're not purchasing it from a Scout shop.
I think what they meant maybe was not our Scout shop.
Okay.
Yeah,
there we
Scout
go.
shop in
New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey.
Well, theoretically, they should be asking for it too.
Yeah, but it is important, though, that anything that does affect the boys of the Hudson Valley Council, does get signed and sent up, even if you purchase them in Oakland or in Westchester.
I think this is a question more for you guys. The question is, what does Council do with the Internet Advancement submission? What does Council do with the hard copy? What actually gets recorded with Council?
So what happens with? Okay, go ahead, Chris.
No, go ahead, Jason.
I was just going to say, the hard copy is actually used to double check to make sure the information was entered correctly, and then it's put into your troop file and kept with those records. You'd be surprised at how many scouts come in, or if somebody changed something in this by accident. That's why we keep the hard copy.
There's a question about briefly discussing the link with Troopmaster. I will definitely get into that. Just at a high level, though, let me open up my Troopmaster here. And I can't show you an exact example because I don't have. It's kind of complicated. If your roster in Troopmaster or Packmaster does not match precisely what is in ScoutNet, including things like the addresses and the BSA IDs and the scouts' names. If you have a scout who goes by Mike and he's Mike in your system, but he's Michael in ScoutNet, the integration kind of gripes at you. So I won't be able to show you a full flow, but I can kind of give you an idea of what you're going for. Now, this is a situation because I started using Troopmaster on our own, and then I know what Council can do is help generate I don't know if it's an actual Troopmaster file to be imported, or whether they can give you kind of like a baseline that you can start from. But for me, it would be disruptive for me to take that at this point and wipe my current data to use what's coming from ScoutNet directly. So if you can do so, you can get your scouts aligned with the ScoutNet data. What you would do is generate a report here. You go down to reports. Let's see, where is it? It is an advancement, a Court of Honor 4403. You'll choose the date range that you want to submit. And then you want to make sure that your ScoutNet report is clicked here. What it'll do, it'll create the report in TroopMaster. It'll show you the screen of the award that it dredged up from your TroopMaster data. When you close that, it's going to then ask you, where do you want to save your ScoutNet file? You'll have to save your ScoutNet file to your desktop, laptop. And then when that's done, let's hop back over here to the Internet Advancement here. Oh, I gotta actually, sorry. I actually have to start over. That's that reset. So here, instead of choosing Load Roster, I'm going to upload the advancement file. I'm going to choose that. This should be faster. It shouldn't take the whole Load Roster length. What it's going to do is prompt me for the file. You'll find the file on your computer and upload it into Internet Advancement application, and then it'll tell you, or you'll get back to that roster screen, the one that we've been focusing on, and it'll show you, oh, they have here are the awards that were coming from TroopMaster, and then everything else is the same. You would submit the same. You would review it. You'd submit it, and then you'd print it all the same. So I hope that helps on the TroopMaster front.
All right, for those that may not be familiar with what TroopMaster is, there is a company that you can purchase the software from, TroopMaster for troops and PackMaster for packs, and it basically allows you to build an inventory of the scouts in the unit, track a lot of information about them, name, address, the parent information, the normal thing like that. Insurance information for parents that help drive, to assist in the tour planning process and all that. And it also records the awards and advancement of the scouts. A lot of units do not have software, but if you do, it will interact, as Dave has been talking about, with the Internet Advancement. The very important piece, as he already mentioned, is the fact that the names and BSA IDs and those types of things need to be perfectly aligned on both sides. Otherwise, it does create some problems. We'll also mention that for anybody that might want to learn about TroopMaster or PackMaster, University offers, or has offered in the past, I believe it is on the docket for this year. There are 2 classes, I believe, in TroopMaster, and they actually will sit down and you'll learn about that for an hour. There's a regular class, and then there's an advanced class, so take advantage of that. Take a look at the catalog of courses being offered at University. Yep, and there's the web page for the company that sells TroopMaster, or PackMaster for that matter.
The question is, the next question is also regarding PackMaster. 4 months of PackMaster saved on my computer, had problems with ScoutNet for a while. Can I now upload those advancement the way you just described. Yes, on the condition though that all those fields match up, you can update many months or a year's worth of advancements if you haven't been able to in the past. The linchpin, the really critical part, and the challenging part is that those fields have to match the ScoutNet data. And I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. So I'm looking here at Matt Guattari's personal card on TroopMaster. All of these green fields, so last, first, including BSA ID. I don't know why that's not one of them, but address, city, zip, phone, grade. If they're not the same, then they won't match up with your ScoutNet account. Just to also kind of drive this, if the fields don't match, which is my situation, it does cause basically a double entry situation. I come into TroopMaster, I say Matt earned citizenship in the community. I then have to go into Internet Advancement over here. Oh, this is the upload screen, by the way. This is where you would continue on. But I have to come into Internet Advancement, find Matt Guattari again, choose citizenship in the community, and do the process over here. Even though it is double entry, I still find it worthwhile to keep my TroopMaster up to date because it helps me with attendance as well and fundraising, which are both critical parts to our unit process. Other questions? I don't have any new ones here at the moment.
Nope, I don't see any either.
Well, I think, unless there are others coming in here at the last minute, thank you everybody for sticking with me and listening today. As a presenter, I just appreciate it. If you guys do have any feedback, feel free to, well, as me as a presenter, if you have any feedback, feel free to Chris or Don, and I'm sure they will pass that along to me.
Yep, we're going to try to do this once every 6 months. So for those of you who may be new to recording advancement for your unit, if there is another person that wasn't able to join today, we will be trying to do this in the spring again. So there'll be an announcement at that point. Any questions, of course, if you're having problems with it, the folks in the council office can assist if you're having any difficulties. And with that, any last-minute questions?
Don, I'll just add one comment because I know there was some questions about folks interested in TroopMaster, PackMaster. One of the things, if your unit's already using it, we really can't help you in that respect. But if your unit has not purchased the software and is interested in doing that, once you do purchase it, we can do a download of the information in ScoutNet that you can upload to PackMaster or TroopMaster. So that is one way that the fields will match because it will be exactly what comes out of or what's in ScoutNet. So rather than keying that stuff in, and that's where I think errors happen. Or instead of Michael, we call him Mikey or Mike. So folks that are interested in purchasing that software, I don't get a commission from the PackMaster or TroopMaster company, but a lot of folks do use it and like it. And the other point that I want to make is that's where you can also enter some of those international emblems. I believe, Dave, and correct me if I'm wrong, but does TroopMaster allow you to enter religious emblems?
Yes, you can create your own, Chris, actually.
Okay, okay.
You can create whatever award you want. Yep.
Right, okay. And I know some troops have their own award, you know, Best Camper of the Year award and that kind of stuff. So, good.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Okay.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Anything else? We'll wrap it up. Okay. Well, thanks everybody for coming tonight. And if we can answer any other questions, you know, feel free. There's Dave's contact information. And we thank you for joining the webinar tonight.
Chris? Chris?
Yeah.
All right, so now what happens with the recording? How do we retrieve that?